So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Giants fans. As you can see, you have two of the newer members of the All Things Giant podcast this week. We are joined by, as many of you will see if you're watching on YouTube, but you won't have seen if you're on Spotify and all the other places that you can get the All Things Giant podcast from. We're joined by Tajh Green. So, first of all, Ryan, how are you? How's things? Excited? Looking forward to
Yeah,
this one?
yeah, very excited, very excited. I think a few weeks ago we asked the fans. I think it was after the US Select game. Who do you want on the pod? Who do you want on the pod? And Taj was one of the names that kept coming up. Um, he rose to even more fame in the last week or so with that crazy, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. But yeah, really looking forward to this. How are you, Ginge?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad at all. So, welcome, Taj. Thanks for joining us on the All Things Giant podcast. Really appreciate your time, as we said prior to recording. So, let's kick it off with the first question of the day. So, you're already a fan favorite with some of the fans. We've seen viral highlights this week, particularly go through with dunks on Sky Sports, BBC Sport. And obviously being one of the main energy guys on the team, which is something that you've alluded to in a number of your interviews. Have you always been a hooper? And if so, what was basketball like in Georgia growing up?
To be honest, I never wanted to be a basketball player. Like when I was coming up, I always played football. So I think it was after middle school, my mom took me out. She was like, basically everybody was going for my legs, and with my height, she didn't want my legs to be, messed with too much. So I didn't get picked up my 8th grade year in middle school, and I actually was in Columbia, South Carolina. Like, I went to school there. So after that year, once I got to high school, I started playing basketball because I got out of football. And really, ever since then, it just started clicking. I just got better and better.
Okay, so football was the first love, and then basketball was kind of a second thing that came through. And okay, cool. We've read that you're an Atlanta Falcons fan.
Right.
Now that Matt Ryan is gone and you have Marcus Mariota and the center, how do you think this year is going to go for your Falcons? And whilst we're on sports, are you a Hawks fan or do you have another NBA team?
With the Falcons, we have our years. We have our up and down years, as we see. One year we can be great, then the next year we're just terrible. So I think after we lost Roddy White and Julio Jones, it kind of went downhill from there once we had the two best wide receivers. So now, I mean, I watch football, but I really don't watch it as much because of the past years. We've been kind of losing. So I'm gonna start back picking up watching. And with the Atlanta Falcons, and I mean with the Atlanta Hawks, they're all right, but I really don't have an NBA team. My NBA team is LeBron. So if he win, I'm fine. So regardless if he win the ring, whatever he doing, I'm fine. I don't have a team.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, when we spoke to Will a few weeks ago, he kind of said similar that he doesn't have a team that he follows. He's just got players that he loves watching. So yeah, you're the same.
Yeah, LeBron and Giannis is really like my two favorite right now because Giannis, he remind me of Shaq. Shaq was always my favorite big. So it's like seeing them two play and try to, put some of that stuff into my game. It's kind of working out.
Yeah, good stuff. And on football, I know what you mean. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. So you think the Atlanta Falcons are bad? You want to try being a Lions fan? That is a tough team to get behind some weeks. Following your time at high school, you went to Benedict College, where you were kind of a walking double-double. What was your time at college like, and what was your recruitment like as you moved from high school up to college?
Well, out of high school, I went to junior college, Spartanburg Methodist. It's in South Carolina. It was a Division I junior college. And my freshman year, I was I was basically taught the real process of, like waiting your turn. So the coach we had, if he wasn't a D1 transfer, a returner, or somebody that just was out there killing, you wasn't going to play unless it was a blowout. Everybody going to play. So I went there for 2 years. We went to nationals my first year. We fell short my second year. After those 2 years, I transferred to Benedict and I redshirted my first year. And then the rest of the years, I just helped, build back from where we was at my redshirt year because it was a fresh group, new coach, new everything. So that was kind of like the rebuilding year. They didn't do as good, well, they really didn't do good at all. So we picked it up the next 3 years. I was there because I played a year. Then COVID came around. COVID gave us that year. We went 9-1 COVID, and then this past year we went to the championship and lost. But that's just a Benedict was just a vibe because it's a HBCU, so it's real. It's a historical Black college and university. So with that, it's a lot of fans. So I'm used to all the fans and the energy and type stuff. But with that, it's just more. It's like more culture. It's a historical Black college, so most people is Black, and like I said, it was just a good time. It was in Columbia, so I wasn't actually too far. It was probably like 7-8 minutes away from where actually I stayed with my mom. So it was right around the corner. So I already seen it and stuff and knew about it, but I never thought I would have went there until I actually got there.
Cool. Yeah, you mentioned making it to the finals. So I think was it last year you were named into the HBCU All-Star game and you won the MVP.
Yeah.
I believe that was the first time they did a HBCU All-Star game.
Yeah, they did. The year before, they did like 2 regular college teams. And then this past year, they did it with just, different players from out of the different conferences.
What was it like that to be kind of, like you say, historical Black colleges, universities, and for you to be named MVP? Do you think that's one of the kind of the highlights of your career so far?
Oh, yeah, because at that time, they put together the best 24 HBCU players in the world. So with them picking that they feel like, we was the best 24, and everybody that was there deserved to be there. And it was a good experience the whole week. They had us working from when we woke up to when we went to sleep. We was, working out, showing our face at different stuff. We had went to the Kingsley House with kids and, the older people for the less fortunate. And that was a good experience because I love kids. So regardless of me being around kids and they seeing us and asking us what we do and what we here for, some not knowing us from a can of paint and just saying, we want to be like y'all. So that was just another inspiration to just keep going. And with winning that kind of boost up, me being a professional basketball player. So I had some NBA talk after the game, but it wasn't enough to, get a workout or anything. But just to even have that talk, that pushed me even more to, keep going and just play the way I'm playing now.
Yeah, exciting stuff and some real energy on the court as well, which we've all seen. And I remember we were speaking after a couple of the games, particularly the game against Cheshire, and I said to you, like, I can't believe that was the game that I missed this season commentating with the dunk. But you said that's not all that's in your locker.
Oh no, I got somewhere I'm gonna pull out. Only home games though. Only home games.
yeah. Make sure it's home games.
Yeah, only home games.
So we've seen some like NFL stars go and coach at HBCUs. Most famously in recent years, John Sanders down at Jackson State. Do you think the platform for HBCU basketball teams can be used similarly to highlight the incredible talent that is out there?
Yeah, because we overlook. They feel like we don't play enough. I guess Division I talent or big time basketball. So it's a lot of dogs and HBCU because like I say, the 24 that they picked, most of us was either player of the year of our conference, all first team. It was just like it wasn't no scrubs. So and there's really not a lot of scrubs in HBCU basketball because like everybody already got a different chip on their shoulder. So it's like when they play, it's a different type of vibe. And then like, especially with the crowd, and like I said, just everything behind the HBCU, like it's a big support system. So I feel like in the next couple of years now, there's going to be more HBCU players actually in the league. They're going to start recognizing us way more because off the strength of the platform that we're doing now, it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'd be great to see some more players coming from the HBCUs into the league and all also overseas. Obviously, And moving on to the overseas piece, obviously now you're here in Manchester and you've settled in a bit more. How did you get recruited to Manchester? How did that come about?
Okay. My agent, he hit me up about it was either Manchester or London. And no, a lot of people don't know it's either out of Manchester or London. But my coach, my agent, I mean, he was telling me about Coach Vance, and he was like, like that's a great guy, and they kind of in the rebuilding process. And he was like, most likely you're going to be playing with a lot of, like I say, OGs. So I didn't want to go to, too much of a high caliber team because I like being an underdog. So I like being on that team that everybody sleep on, the one that they feel like they not going to make it. Then we just shock people. And that's what we're doing now. We're just shocking most people that play against us. But once he told me about Coach Vance, I did my research on him. And I just asked around. I asked a few Giants players from last year, about, just the league in general. I actually played against Tay McKnight in Vegas at a HBCU, the summer league showcase that they had for the HBCU players. I actually played against him, I think like twice. So once I seen that he actually played for Manchester, I had, gave him a couple questions and he, let me know about it. So it's just really my agent, just put me in the right fit. He felt like that was for me and my game, and the type of coach that Vince is like he fit perfect for like who I would want to play for.
Yeah, it makes sense. Vince is a great guy, and I think what we've seen is, like you said, playing with some OGs, Rahman, William Lee coming into the team, Dirk. Obviously, those guys have. You can see that you feed off the energy, they feed off your energy, but also you feed off their energy and their experience to make the right calls, the right plays, and the right decisions at the right time.
Right.
So
cool.
Obviously, season's underway. We're currently 4-1, with the only loss being that kind of real close season opener to Bristol. How's the beginning of the season been for you? How are you finding it in Manchester so far?
Actually, I love Manchester. It's a calm city compared to where, like, back at home, there's really not too many problems here. I really don't have a lot of distractions, so it's like I'm just locked in. It's like back home, being around family and friends. Sometimes that can be a distraction depending on your career path. So I felt like me getting in an uncomfortable state, it kind of helped me playing the way I'm playing now because I'm just now kind of getting comfortable in Manchester. Like when I first got here, I wasn't too comfortable. I wasn't too sure about actually leaving to come overseas because this is my first time even being out the country. So I wanted my, at least my first experience to be one of the best ones. But to that Bristol game, we only had like 2 weeks to really prepare with each other. So with us only losing by 1, when we some simple mistakes, some free throws we missed that we could have won, but that was just really a learning game and to see where we was at. And once we we fixed the little mistakes that we always fix after every game, is like we just only get better.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a close one there to Bristol. We've seen already this season you do it on both ends. You and Will blocking everything that gets put up, and also you kind of hanging from many a rim already this season. This alley-oop dunk against Cheshire that has like made you mainstream kind of across the British basketball community is so on all the socials. Have you ever had a play like that before? What was going through your mind? When did you think you're going to channel your inner Tracy McGrady and go off the backboard?
Okay. I remember, I think it was around third quarter when I was hitting my threes. Fletch, he was like, just keep killing. But he was talking junk to the player that was guarding me. So it came to a point of time, I guess he thought I was going to shoot. I didn't know what I was doing personally. Once I did it, I was just as shocked as everybody else because, like, as you see, I probably didn't stop smiling until probably till I got home. So once I did it, I thought I overthrew it because I threw it from the 3-point line. And I just felt like once I caught it in my hands, it was just, I knew I was going to dunk it. But that was just a on-time thinking decision. Once he was off his feet and I seen nobody was up under the lane, I was just like, let's see if I can, try to see what happens. And now that it happened, it's like it blew up. Like I never expected it to happen. I never tried something like that in game. I done did it, playing around and stuff before, but like actually in a real game, especially a professional game, is kind of different, and it hit home a little different.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what we've seen is obviously it went BBL wide, it went Sky Sports wide, it went BBC Sport wide. Like it's taken British basketball to the forefront from the one play. So I guess the question for me is like, I know you've only been. What's the best aspect of the British Basketball League that you've seen or been around so far?
It's just the style of play. Right. Depending, well, with our team, I say we're a running team. So like, if you can't keep up, then it's gonna be a long game for you. But it's just the style of play is kind of different. So like, yeah, like our style is different from most teams because like most teams try to slow us down. But like if you miss and we get that rebound, it's like you see all five just sprinting. So it's like eventually by third quarter, you're gonna be kind of tired out, and it's like we still running. So like we run probably to the last second of the fourth quarter. So it's like it's just like I said, just a different style of play than what I'm used to. I'm used to Coach Vince's coaching style, but just like the first couple games, I was still, kind of adapting to certain stuff, like boxing out, trying to get people off me. Because that's how I was, taught, like, as a big man, somebody on you, you got to get them off you. So I see now it's like certain stuff I couldn't, really do here. So it's like just adapting really. But like I said, it's just a different style of basketball.
Okay. And we mentioned Coach Vince quite throughout this podcast so far, but the one person that I haven't really seen mentioned is Coach Nigel Lloyd. What does he bring to the team that's different?
He's basically like another Coach Vince. Like he see a lot of stuff. He played the game, so with him actually seeing some stuff, he actually tell us, and it's like with him, he always want us like working extra hard. So it's like even after we done with practice, we get our shots up. It's like he told me today, like, yeah, Todd, you been slacking, you get your shots up. So it's like he makes sure we still working while Coach Vance, he only can juggle and schedule out so much. So having him is like basically another coach that just wants you to keep pushing. Like that's all he wants us to do, keep pushing and make free throws. That's the biggest thing with him. Like we don't make free throws, he's on us.
I was going to say that was my next question. Is he on you about your free throws? Because I think if I remember correctly from a commentary piece that I did with him maybe last year or the year before in COVID, he's the highest percentage free throw shooter in BBL history. So I can imagine he's on you for that.
Yeah. It's like if I miss a free throw in practice, it's like, see, that's how you miss them in the game. And it's like, but like when it's time for us to run, like we have to shoot free throw to run. Most of the time we make it because we don't feel like running. But with him, he's always on us about free throws and just working hard.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Ryan, you've got some of the fan questions for us, I believe.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of fan questions. The first question is from I might get their name wrong here, KJ Brigham Galman.
You need a professional in the room. I think it's KJ Brigham Gallum.
KJ Brigham Gallum, is that right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm just going on what the pronunciation is that I would take into it.
Yeah, apologies if I butchered that. So Benedict College, how would they do in the BBL? And if it was Giants versus Benedict, what would the scoreline be like? And you can play a half for each team.
Okay, with Benedict, we'll compete. We'll compete with any league, I feel like, because of the style. It's just like the style of play we play now here with the Giants, the fast-paced game, it was the same way with Benedict. So it's like I'm used to both sides of how I'm playing. So depending on which team I'm on, that's what team going to score more. So I really can't. So if I start off, if I start off on Benedict, most likely the Giants gonna win because I'll be after halftime. We'll be winning with me on the team. But if it's switch, it's just depending on where I'm finishing at. So, but Benedict will definitely compete, and then with the teams we had, I know like basically my last three teams with Benedict, I say like all three of those teams would have competed in the BBL. We probably would have just been a little unexperienced, but people wouldn't be able to run with us. Like just like now, I'm just used to running, so that'll be a big difference.
Brilliant. Next one is a question from Adam Williams, who's a Giants fan and plays in D3 with Stockport Falcons. He asked, where does your energy come from? And what's your pre-game routine like? Or is it all about your rest and recovery? Where do you kind of get this energy from?
It's crazy because like with energy, I always play like this. Like I tell people, regardless if I play good or bad, I'm a junk talker, so I talk like junk in games. People, you see, I boo-hooed a couple people, set my tongue out. It's just that's just my style of play, and it's like if I can get in your head, I'm gonna just keep going because now I'm getting you out your game. I'm getting you mad, and then I know your teammates gonna try to come up and defend you. So it's like, okay, you want to come too? Now I'm gonna pick on you. But like I just always have that type of energy. And my pregame, most of the time I have on my shades. So put on my shades, listen to my music. Really, music is the main thing. My certain type of music I listen to. I mean, I listen to all types of music, but it's just those certain like game time songs. And then most of the time I gotta have my candy. Like if I don't have no candy, it's not gonna be a good game. That's my superstition. But like I need my candy during the game. So that's just basically how I am.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here with a question from me rather than from moving on to one of the last fan questions. What's the difference for you between British candy and American candy, and how have you found it?
I tried like the candy I'm eating now is basically the same type of candy we have in the States, but it's like here it's like a more richer and fresh taste. Like it's like everything here that I eat is just more richer and fresh. I don't know what it is, but like that's just how it tastes.
Okay, so we're not doing too badly compared to keeping that energy level up then.
Oh no, especially the candy. I like sour candy. Like before the game or like during the game, it got to be some type of sour candy, and I'll be good.
Okay, so moving on to the final two questions. We've got a question here from Cameron Bates, who is playing and studying at UA 92. Have you always been bouncy? You can shoot the ball well from distance. So was it like Anthony Davis in that you were a guard who got big?
I didn't start dunking, like dunking, till I was in 10th grade high school. Like I was at that time, my 9th grade year, I was getting taught how to dunk. I had somebody at my high school, Peter. He was like probably the best athlete I ever seen with my own eyes, like personally, actually been on the team with. He it was one AAU game doing warm-ups. I kept trying to dunk and I just kept getting rim stuff. And he played on our older team. And he was like, it's about the way you jumping. Like you're not really jumping or you jumping too close. So he was just showing me different ways how to dunk. And like after I dunked once, it just was like, all right, now I know how to dunk. But my bounce, I wasn't naturally bouncy. I had to work on mine. But like ever since I started dunking, it just got higher and higher. But that's just how it is. I had to work for mine. I wasn't just naturally gifted. I wish I was naturally gifted because sometimes I really don't be feeling like jumping. It's just like I have to do it, especially if I got a fast break. I'm try to show something. But that's just basically how it is. And what was the next question too?
So was it like Anthony Davis and that you were a guard who got tall, or were you naturally tall all the way through?
Most of the grades I was in, I was the tallest one in my grade, so I always was tall. But I didn't hit my growth spurt until really high school, and when I first started playing basketball, I was a rim to rim runner. I was playing big man, so I just didn't start. I was always used to playing in the post, so having that's just now I always not playing the post, regardless if I got a big man on me or somebody my size. But the guard skills didn't come in until basically I got to Benedict because I was in a position to actually trail. And instead of going straight to the post, it was like I can make moves. The coach allowed me to shoot. And he was like, you know, if you're making it, then I'm going to allow you to shoot. Just like with coach, he gave us the green light. So with you having the coach that give you the green light, it just give you that confidence. Like, you know, if I shoot, it's like I know he won't be mad unless it's just a wild shot. But it just all came putting in the work really. Like I couldn't dribble with my left hand for nothing. So it's like now it's just like I said, the more I train, it's like the better I get.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's like that old adage, isn't it? In basketball, it's a good shot. Or it's not a bad shot if you hit it. It's a bad shot if you miss.
Right. Or you don't shoot.
See coaches get all the time, and they're like, I can't even call him for that because he actually hit the shot.
Right.
So, final question, and this comes from Harry Collins, who's better known to us all as HC Captures, probably one of the best in the business from behind the camera lens in the BBL. And it's a real simple question, but could be quite a long answer. What keeps you motivated?
There's a lot of things that really keep me motivated. One, my mom, she played ball back in the day, and her dreams got cut short because of her having kids. So just her, knowing the game, having a parent that actually know the game and see stuff that you don't normally see in your game, or you try to argue that like, yeah, I seen this. Like my mom, we talk basketball every day, so it's like she know the game, she know my game. So it's like if I'm not doing something in my game that she know I could do, it's like she on me. And then my brothers and sisters, me being the youngest, I'm the youngest out of five. So it was like growing up with them, um, we always was close. So like now me being separated from the bunch is like I just gotta go a little harder. So like that's really just my family in general. And loved ones I lost to, certain situations, they give me an extra push because I have a homeboy who I lost to gun violence and back when COVID hit and like right before, I don't know if he was playing or not, but I know he told me he was serious. He was like, I'm gonna start back hooping. And like probably like a couple weeks later, he lost his life. So it's like with that just gave me an extra push. And then, just dealing with certain situations in life is like there's no point to dwell in it. If you got a career, you just put it out in your career. So that's all I do. I just put whatever I'm going through, I just put it out on the court. And then I know if once I perform well, it's like that's my relief. So like anytime I get on the court, it's just that's just going into how I play.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Everybody's got their motivations that come from an intrinsic part of them as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. Taj, really appreciate your time. Obviously, we've got a week off this week, but going into the following week, we have Leicester and London, two of probably the biggest heavyweights in the BBL over the past sort of couple of years, and Leicester have done it for a number of years. Are we going with two W's? Is that what we're aiming for?
We're going with two W's. Like I said in one interview, we want all the smoke. We want whoever want to play against us, be ready. We're not running away from nobody. We like to see me. I like playing against the teams that everybody already predict, to win or to be one of the winners. It's like that just give me extra push to show them like we could have been one of those winners too if I just believed in us. But it's just a different type of games playing, those big teams that give you a different type of energy and push. Like I might not be able to calm down next weekend, so you might see me a little wild.
Love that. I remember, obviously, Giants fans, tickets available for Sunday the 30th, 5 p.m. tip-off at the Bellevue, so make sure you get hold of some tickets and come and see the man do his thing along with the other guys. Ryan, it's been great.
Yeah, thanks
for you to join us. Hopefully, at some point when we get it through, we'll get all four of us back on. But obviously with work commitments and other things, we can get all 4 people back on. But we'll drop this out, and we'll give you guys on the socials when this is going to come out. And then drop us some messages and let us know who else do you want to see on the team. Do we want to on this podcast? Sorry, from the team. Do we want to see the OG Fletch? Do we want to see Coach Vince? Do we want to see somebody else that's not around that's not right in the spotlight? For me, we need to get Roberson on it, because he's settling as well. So he's coming up with some good plays, big plays in the Cheshire game. So appreciate you, Taj. Thanks very much for your time, and we'll catch you guys on Sunday the 23rd at Bellevue.
Thank you.